All right, guys, here we're going to talk about the movie Jennifer's Body.
Look at the sprint that I have. How many people can get that range of motion?
2009's Jennifer's Body, Lee. Had you seen it before?
Do you know the answer to that question?
I would think you've seen this one before, but you've surprised me in the past.
Yeah, I missed this one. And this was legendary. So like, you know, when it came up on the docket, I was like, oh yeah, we're getting into it now. Finally, a real movie with like a production budget or something.
Definitely,
yeah.
no, this is a theatrical movie. It wasn't really well received when it came out, but it was bigger on like the back end. Like we had some good rental copies of this.
I remember a buzz about it, so that actually shocks me because I thought it was super well received and everyone was like, "Oh, it's the greatest thing ever." We'll get into reasons why and then yes, but no, I thought it was good. I thought it was fine. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I thought it was like, yeah, that's cool.
I think I actually liked it more on the rewatch than I did the first time I watched it.
You saw it back in like 20.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in like, 11 years,
10
12
years,
years, whatever.
I haven't seen it in approximately a decade.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
But no, this is a fun movie.
No, it was nice. It was like, it's got a hip script and it's got a cool thing. People that I was like, oh, you're in this?
Yeah,
and
lots
you're
of
good?
stars. And
or I'm like, wait,
what?
what? That whole vibe or whatever. And yeah, it's right in that pocket. So even like the soundtrack, we'll talk about that probably in more detail, is like, it was a nice, it was a weird nostalgia because this is like your time period, like mid to late 2000s.
Yeah, I saw every movie that came out in this time period.
Well, and like, you're like, oh, it's the greatest thing ever. And I'm like, I don't know. It's like, it's just another movie. But yeah, this was like, this definitely stands out where I'm like, oh, this is
probably Megan Fox's best movie.
It's like a refreshing where I'm like, oh, it's good. All right, good, yeah. So like, thumbs up, I guess, would be my reaction here.
Definitely would recommend. If you've seen it or don't care, falls over to spoilers, and if not, pull out now.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video and we eat the competition.
All right, so here we are for the spoilers of Jennifer's Body, Lee. Let me hear them spoiler-filled thoughts.
Okay.
So, like, the whole premise of this is this band is...
Oh, right, the movie, the plot of the movie. Okay, fine.
This band's in this backwoods nowhere town.
It's really important sometimes to try and connect with our fans in the shitty areas, too.
It's amazing.
Jessica.
Because they're trying to find a virgin to sacrifice to Satan or whatever to give them the power of rock goddom. And like, they settle upon Jessica here, who they believe...
Jennifer, what?
Jessica.
Jennifer.
How dare you?
Okay. They settle on Jennifer. And Jennifer they believe to be a virgin.
Yeah, there's a whole complex identification process of like, trust me.
And through a series of unfortunate things, like they get confirmation on her being a virgin.
Yeah.
Through them trying, like, oh yeah, don't rape me, I'm a virgin. And like, yeah, you can't sleep with her, she's a virgin, like type of thing.
Yeah.
But I love the line of like, she's haven't even been a backdoor virgin since 5th grade or something. I was like, oh.
That's very crude.
He thinks that you're a virgin. I heard them talking. What? I'm not even a backdoor virgin anymore, thanks to Roman.
I haven't been fucked like that since grade school.
There's a lot of crude things in this that are pretty funny.
They're wearing eyeliner. They look like a bunch of fagos.
He had to say that because he can't cuss because he's a super Christian.
She gets stabbed like through her chest with like a fucking large pool skimmer.
Pool skimmer thing.
Which I was like, are there pool skimmers for indoor pools? Maybe.
Yeah, you gotta skim a pool. What do you mean? Yeah.
What do you think you're skimming on the inside?
Whatever falls in there.
What's falling in there?
Anything. What do you got in your pockets right now? Throw it in the pool. We gotta skim it out.
So she gets stabbed with this pool skimmer.
Okay.
And she pulls it out and she's like, you got a tampon?
Yeah, I hated this. Do you like these jokes?
When she says, because you look like you'd be plugging or something, I was like, that's a joke to me.
I hated it.
You're impaled.
I hate all that.
You got a tampon? Thought I'd ask. You seem like you might be plugging.
It's like it's like crude, but the crudeness is not funny either. So I'm just like, what are you doing?
No, I think that Megan Fox has a great tonality in her dry humor.
Humor
she doesn't often get to say these types of things.
Humor is subjective.
Yes,
and
it's
sometimes
not your fault.
People like things that are bad and enjoy it. It's fine.
There's a midnight showing of Rocky Horror at the Bijou next weekend.
I don't like boxing movies.
Yeah, but it's not a...
Oh, and she's like, did you get the make and model? I don't know, an 89 rapist when she needs help. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
They took her in their spooky van with the windows all blacked out.
Did you get the make and model?
I don't know, Chip, an 89 rapist? She's still in there. We have to go find her.
the fire is pretty ludicrous. So like the whole
this is great.
business with like there's a massacre. People are just burning and collapsed upon.
People forget, and I forget what year it was. Watch, it'll be like 2010. I think it was earlier. That famous nightclub fire where a band was playing and stupid pyrotechnics, and it was super famous. A bunch of people died. There was a stampede. It was a big fire thing, whatever. And I think the town also got famous, or some weird shit happened, around it.
Did the
but
band
we
get
forget
famous?
now. Yeah, well, because they were like in league with Satan, it turned out. But that was we didn't know that at the time. So everyone was just like, oh, we can't believe this town has been befallen by this tragedy.
Yeah.
So this gave me shades of that, and I thought it was great that they even it's not just people dying of the fire. She even calls out I was hearing people getting trampled, their bones were snapping, and you're like, oh God.
I love how casually like the bandits got out.
So
and,
perfect.
Like, he's still holding his drink. Here, have some of this. Oh, you're in shock. Here, come with us.
He's like, wow.
Just stay right here.
Thank God you guys are all right. I've been looking everywhere for you two. Listen, it's really dangerous out here. You want to head someplace safer, like my van?
What?
Yeah, no, it's great.
Like what?
Yeah. That's when I knew, obviously, I don't know at what point it clicked for you, but at a certain point. I think when they were like playing that song in like relationship to like the memorial. They made a pact with Satan, and like the fire was Satan being like, oh, this, hey, you want to be famous? Here's how we're going to murder all these people. And the band's like, okay, like fine, whatever.
The whole country got a huge tragedy boner for Devil's Kettle. And the press, God, they couldn't get enough of our little world of shit.
I have a lot of questions about the fire itself, honestly. Like
how did that start? Why did they not care about it?
They had not they didn't like that's pretty much what gave them the fame.
Yeah.
And they then murdered her after that. So like, was it enough that they had planned to murder her? That the events were like already in order? It does seem like they also, through the song, like paralyzed her, and like because it doesn't seem like she was traumatized so much by the event. She was already transfixed like while they were playing.
I remember how we used to talk about the places we would go when.
And it didn't seem like the same way that like, oh, this person's attractive. Oh, so salty. Let me just look at you. Like it seems like a lot of things were pre-laid down before the actual murder happened.
She's pretty out of it when she's being let out and stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jennifer?
I think we could find something there. I don't know. It might just simply be like the Doctor Who, like echoes of the future to the past, and it was all meant to be this way or something.
That's why I was like, I should watch the director's commentary and see. But
see if they shed some light on that or whatever. Yeah.
Like, and even if it's like, oh, what we don't see is earlier he slipped something in her drink, or oh, blah,
exactly,
blah,
exactly.
Like could have easily been that. I know things were cut. There was supposed to be some torrid sex scene between the two girls, but that was cut in favor of just having them make out for a little while.
Okay, so I think part of the buzz I heard about this was a gay buzz.
Okay.
Was about them kissing and stuff.
Sure.
And now having seen it, I'm like, that's nice and all, but like it's a very tiny, small part of the movie.
No, it's a part of the actual movie. It doesn't even seem like it's like shoved in
just
for bullshit. Yeah.
It doesn't seem gratuitous. It isn't like a dream sequence. There's no like weird nudity or something. They're making out, and then Amanda Seyfried's like, what the fuck? And like stops it, and then they argue and they talk and shit. Like it's not, and she is a succubus now and shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it even fits anyway, regardless.
Well, and for most of the movie, it's kind of played out like, is she just her friend, or is she attracted to this girl?
Right.
And who's to say? But then Megan Fox is like using her wild to get anybody because she's evil now.
I go both ways.
So take advantage of this thought she already has. It doesn't seem like it's some new thought that she's placing.
No, there's some tension there because of how life is or something. But because Amanda Seyfried, like they stop kissing, and then Amanda Seyfried reinitiates. She restarts the kissing. So she's definitely into it, or at least charmed by her demonic, or just her literal wilds, whatever you want to call it.
Well, and most times that something fucked up happens involving Jennifer, a moment later it's like, nothing happened, blah, 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 blah. It's like she has this weird power, like, oh yeah, I just smashed up your car. But here I am.
Hi.
Oh, I was just, like trying to murder you while vomiting black. I'm fine.
Okay.
You all right? Yeah. Why wouldn't I be?
This is gaslighting.
Yes,
this is really
101.
This is super interesting. If you want to, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do a 3-hour video essay about the meaning of the movie. But yeah, she's like manipulating her, her friend, and her friend has seen all this crazy stuff, and she's like, no, I'm pretty sure this is like a thing we need to discuss or do something about. And she's like, come on, what are you talking about? That's fine, and just like playing it off and everything. And I think that this is meant to be a perverted, demonic, extreme version of what their relationship has always been.
Yeah.
Which is such like a nice like, oh, we can watch this and learn from this.
But her like being like, no, I was up all night scrubbing black vomit. I know that happened. You ate my mom's Boston Market and you puked on me.
Ew, fuck, you need a manny bad. You should find a Chinese chick to buff your situation.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
And you gave me like some weird snarl thing. Like, what was that?
I'm not supposed to.
The like demonic wail and like the look on Amanda Seyfried's face to be like, this is serious. It's great. There's a lot of looks, like you called out the emo boy too, where like the like switch flips where they're like, oh, this is not merely kinky. This is actually a thing.
Yeah.
No way.
That I'm going to die now. Yes.
Yeah, no, a few people have that. Like,
it's an important moment for an actor to go through. Yes.
When she get like, and there's that weird like I'm a Disney princess scene where like all the animals are watching, and then she like unhinges her jaw and kills the quarterback. You're like, what the fuck was that?
And then the deer's eating his intestines later. Where I'm like, is that deer demonic too? Is the whole forest demonic?
I don't understand any of that because if you're like historically, if you are evil, animals can sense it and they like either like growl at you or they flee or hiss or something. Yeah. But in this, they're all like, "Oh, it's Cinderella." Like it's such a weird moment where I'm like, what is that supposed to mean?
So she says they're waiting and they're playing like weird music, like edgy music. Mm-hmm. So I interpreted that like they're all there to like witness the kill and then pick up the scraps.
But that would make sense if they were all like carnivores
or something. Yes.
But they're mostly herbivores.
Well, there's different animals, but yes, it's super weird that they focus on the deer and then the deer is the one that J.K. Simmons sees later. Where I'm like, why the deer? Because then you think like, oh, I don't think deers eat flesh of dead things, do they?
No.
They eat plants.
Most flat-toothed animals don't.
Yes. So like to have that do that, I'm like, oh, was it influenced by her horny hungers?
More things that I think could have been maybe shed a light by hearing what the director actually meant by
these things.
It
doesn't bother me, but yes, it's one of those things.
No, I'm just inquisitive. Where I'm like, well, what did you mean by that?
You think it's going to maybe come back or be a thing later, and then it's not, so you're like, well, what was that, or whatever. I love the, I think it's the same chick, way in the beginning, when they're doing the like, she was my best friend, and she's like waving to Megan Fox, and then some chick's like, what are you, like a lesbian? Like shouts in her face, and so she's like, ugh, like fuck you, or whatever.
You're totally lesbian gay.
What? She's my best friend.
And then later, I think it's the same chick who's like, what do you mean a rumor? No, they saved people during the fire. This is great. Yeah. They're going to come to our town.
I love that too. She's like, I was there.
Exactly.
You weren't there. Who do you believe?
More gaslighting.
That kind of shit drives me nuts all the time. People go, like, you'll say something that is a fact, and they go, well, I don't know. And you're like, well, the fact that you don't know, I do know.
No, people are crazy like that.
I
have a lot of fights with those things. I don't know about this. Well, we're going to have to see. I saw! I'm a witness! I'm reporting on the facts of the matter.
They didn't help anybody escape the fire. I don't even know how that rumor got started.
Rumor? Rumor? It's true. It's on their Wikipedia.
When Jessica says that, When Jessica says that PMS isn't real,
Jessica
is the ultimate gaslighter.
It was created by the boy-run media to convince women that they're crazy. Girls, they're crazy, right? Yeah.
I love that.
I love, like a lot of it for me was Amanda Seyfried's reaction. I think Megan Fox is kind of flat and weird in this, but that fits the character, so it's like good or whatever. But her reaction of like, I do not know what to say to this bitch right now. What the fuck is going on? It's so perfect constantly throughout the movie.
Are you PMSing or something? PMS isn't real, Needy. It was invented by the boy-run media to make us seem crazy.
Apparently Megan's like super like method in this. She didn't go outside for like 4 months to get like super pale for the role. What? And she dropped like 15 pounds, which for her is crazy. She was like under 100 pounds filming this movie.
Oh, she looked, okay, there
she
you
looked
go.
gaunt, and that's the role, I guess.
And she has to play, because there's like cycles. Oh, cycles that are approximately a month. Wow, someone wrote this movie, it turns out. Yeah, there's like the cycle where she gets hungry again. They say like it's been a month, and yeah, she like looks like shit. And then before she goes out to hunt, she's like caking on makeup and just like, fuck it, I don't care. Just, it's like going on like in her mouth and stuff. She's so gross. It's awesome.
Needy says something like, haven't you noticed she looks like shit?
For her. Yeah, exactly.
And then when she's hungry, she's weak and cranky and ugly. I mean, like, ugly for her.
And her boyfriend's just like, you need help. Like, I don't know, this is crazy. It's like, what would you say?
I always feel bad when you like tell someone exactly what's going to happen and it does happen. You're like, I warned you, yet you still fucking died, you stupid idiot.
No, and it's like Shakespearean, because her, Amanda Seyfried, Needy becoming unhinged, pushes him away and sets it up so that he's vulnerable to the succubus on prom night.
Yeah.
I just can't believe that she would mess with your head like this. I care about you so much, Chip.
When they spray the like women's like self-defense mace in her eyes, and then she vomits, I take it as she sucks all the mace through her eyeballs and projects it back out through her mouth.
She can't handle that going into it's like a poison, like Boston Market is a poison, and she must expel it immediately.
Best line that I'm sure went over a lot of the like teeny boppers that watch this movie's heads is when she goes like, "Nice hardware, Ace."
Oh yeah.
Nice hardware, Ace.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
That was so
puns.
Good.
We love puns.
Well, and it's great too because it's right when she like unbuckles like Emo Kid's pants and like they drop to the ground. So are you talking about the metal stuff there or his dick?
No, he has a piercing, I assume.
I don't know.
Oh, that's how I took that. Was he must have like a Prince Albert or something to go along with his like chin or whatever piercing?
Good to go on with his little shoulder chain.
It was a different time.
This isn't really her house, is it?
Comes back after the credits though. We have like her actually murdering that band.
Oh, it's wonderful.
I was like, okay, I like that.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta talk about the ending, I guess, in general, right? She gets out of the insane asylum. It turns out she was bitten, scratched, whatever. She has some of the. It's not a virus. It is like Satan or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
it turns out that when a demon bites you and doesn't kill you, you get some of its power.
Get a little juice.
Most occult scholars don't know this, but if you're bitten by a demon and you live, you just might absorb some of the demon's abilities.
Yeah,
and that explains how she's badass kicking things. And
I recommend more complex carbohydrates.
I recommend you shut the fuck up.
She fucking can float now, much like Jessica could.
They float. They
Jennifer,
float
I
now.
keep saying Jessica.
I was like, do I do it? Don't do it to him. But then my brain fired off. Yeah.
But like her floating, I was like, I can take or leave that.
By the way, whenever you say Jessica, I think of Jessica Fletcher from Murder, She Wrote, and that's a very funny picture in the movie.
Number 2, please step forward. Me?
Yeah, okay, but she gets out is the point, and it's like a weirdly happy ending. Like we said, the music's pumping.
Yeah.
It's over the credits, but like you very clearly established, like, yeah, the band is just living their best life, acting like they didn't just get all these ill-gotten gains, and then she comes in, the enforcer, makes things right, justice.
Well, they're soulless like to begin with. They're singing like 8, 6, 7, 5 and stabbing that lady.
That's
I'm like,
true, that's
okay.
true.
I need to make you mine. Jenny, don't change your number.
These are bad people.
They did a lot of work there.
One of them was kind of like on the fence, but ultimately didn't stop it. So
no, he's Jenny, I got your number. He's in the back.
Yeah.
He's loving it. Yeah. When they all started to sing like that, I was like, okay, fine. Like, not that makes them irredeemable, but to your point, it's like, yeah, they're into this. They're like,
They're
whatever it's
sociopaths. Like that's you deserve to die.
Yeah, you've gotten so far to the point where you're just like, we have to do this, I guess, right? No one even tries to like go to the cops and they have to kill them. There's no weird like thing that happens. They're just loving every minute of it. And then she like sets it right, and it's a superhero origin story. Where now she has her hoodie on, she's going out, and she's gonna go join the Defenders or something.
We could pull her into my group of children superheroes and make a whole movie out of it. When she bursts through that chain link fence, though, they don't show exactly how it happens.
Right.
So like it's almost led to believe that she's like kind of like walks through it and it separates. Like that's the strongest human on earth. Like what do you mean? I would have loved if it showed like she fucking karate chops as she's walking, so it would make a little bit more sense.
Yeah, because it seems like she doesn't cut it. It seems like
it just like breaks around her,
or it like bends out of the way for her. Like she has like powers.
Something happens that isn't shown properly.
It's fine. I love it. She's got powers. We like that.
We love it, folks.
We love it, folks. Powers.
It's really cool. Just watch. Look. It's like some X-Men shit, right?
The most powerful thing, though, like of the movie, the thing I walk with going, you did that, and that I love that, is that she kills Jennifer, and there's actually repercussions the next day from doing this. Because how many movies end with like, oh, got him, and like the credits just start and it's over. But in this, it's like, okay, no, the mom's there. You're seeing her sob over her dead daughter, and now you're in a mental institution because you're a fucking murderer.
Personally, I think they're trying to wear us out. Keep us sluggish so there won't be an uprising.
And I'm sure they pinned every other murder in town on you.
Of course.
Who else did it?
No, and like her mom walks in right at the worst moment, and they even have the mom say a line before it like clicks like what she's seeing and what's going on, which I think is honestly better than it has to be. It probably confused people at first, whatever.
Jennifer, what is it, baby?
But like, Amanda Seyfried, she is relieved. Like it is the end of some worse movie where they just act like, it's fine. Half the town's dead, but you're fine. It's like, wait, no. She leans back and like lays back like, and you even see her looking at the mom and everything. But it does a close up on Jennifer's face. Mm-hmm. So you're like, are her eyes gonna open? Is that like the twist ending or whatever? But no, we have a different path we're taking, and I really enjoyed that. That it wasn't just going to be like, oh, you thought you won, you didn't win. It's like, no, it's like different. It's very different.
If I had to do a little tweak on this, it would be add an extra moment there where like when she goes to stab her the first time, like before the mom would be walking in during this, she'd just go to stab her, but it's a box cutter. Like that's not a stabbing implement.
You know what this is for?
It's weird,
and
right?
it's the type of box cutters where you break it off to get a new sharper blade.
Those little things all fall.
So it can be very simple if she like stabbed and it just snapped and doesn't kill her at all, and then she has to like use a letter opener or some bullshit that she would have because she's like a gothy chick.
Yeah.
I don't know, but like that would have been my thing, like because the audience, you would have shown that stab, you would have seen the eyes, you would have cut back, and she'd be like, ah! And then you would have seen like chink, like it broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Each of those little, like a centipede, all those little segments like break off and stuff.
Yeah.
It was a weird weapon. They wanted the box joke. It cuts boxes.
It cuts boxes.
Get
you
it?
All your weapons
you
at
hoe?
Home Depot, you lesbian or something, she says.
Yeah, there's a lot of digs and stuff. It's interesting. I like the back and forth and how they get under each other's skin and stuff, and how
they're quick and quippy.
It's like a Mean Girls. It's like you're just evil young people who know how to like push each other's buttons and stuff.
It's for cutting boxes. Do you buy all your murder weapons at Home Depot? God, you're a bunch.
On par with like how realistic the aftermath of killing somebody is, and honestly all these murders, which again probably got tied to her, is the sex scene in the movie.
Oh.
Because like every movie has this thing where it's like sex, we're thrusting, okay, we're doing this thing. At no point did I take my pants off. It doesn't matter. But in this, it felt very awkward and real, and you're like, okay, and you're like, she having like a freak out hallucination during the thing, and he's like loving that because he's like, oh man, she's freaking out.
Yeah, he's
this
like,
must be me. I must be doing this.
He's like, oh, she's so into it. it. Yeah, exactly. No, it really has a nice awkward, and like the angles they choose to use, and how it's not this dreamy, flattering, amazing, poem of sex. It's something else.
It's like this realistic, awkward beginning, first times you've ever had sex moments, and like him like seeing her crying and going, "Am I too big?"
Not hurting you? Am I too big?
Yeah, that's cliche, but yes, it's still.
But his
the point
face
is that his
sold that because he's such a fucking goober.
Yeah, and them taking out the condom and talking about it and
the
stuff.
condom that he got at the Super Target or whatever he says.
Whatever he says.
Like they're like, oh, I stopped by the Super Target, got some condoms. If you want to have sex with his little pulling suspenders.
But a few hundred condoms, just in case.
I went to Super Target and picked up more condoms. So.
Thanks.
Not that has anything to do with.
Oh no, I didn't assume that.
Well,
It's smarter, kids, to buy them by the hundred. Just saying. It's so much cheaper.
Yeah.
You buy 3 at a gas station, that's $8.
No, you can't buy 3.
You buy 100, that's $15.
Yeah. The more you know.
The more you fuck. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com, pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's alright.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
My tit.
Cannibal Video has everything you need. A wide array of VHS and DVDs. We ate the competition, now it's only us. Our expert staff opinions you can really trust.